How's it going, everybody? So I'm out here today at the very first park where I first learned how to take pictures of my kids. Yep. Well, like it wasn't like a one-day thing. It was literally like a everyday thing. Like dead serious. Like this is what I did on almost a everyday constant basis. Or I'm trying to pull myself in focus. There we go. Yeah, this is what I did on like an everyday constant basis. Dead serious. And this is one of the things that really helped me to mature, or I mean not really mature, but get started and be more comfortable with using my gear, and just learning how to do what I do a lot faster, get good at editing, lighting, all sorts of things like that. And that's not the only thing, but today I got a very specific thing that I want to talk about. And I don't know if you can see in the video, right? But it's possible to see it as you go outside. Do you know what time of year it is? It's fall. Now I've been making a lot of video content. Okay, so somebody turn on the radio as soon as I start recording. And let me wear my headphones to make sure I can at least hear myself. I hate the fact that it got to be like this, but that's kind of how it is in a public place, right? So it is fall right now. I'm so sorry about the noise. It wasn't noisy before I started. So it's fall right now, and everything looked nice and beautiful. Everything looked picture perfect outside. And this is a good reason for you to want to go outside and get more comfortable with using your camera. Oh yes. Like this is a real good reason. And this is a real good way to do it too, right? Because all it really do is make photography fun, right? Like if photography isn't first fun, then like why would you even want to do it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if it's not fun, then what brought you here to begin with? Maybe something brought you here and then you found out it wasn't fun. But like you got to make this fun, especially if you want to learn photography, you want to get really good at it. Maybe you don't want to take nature photography pictures for a living. That don't mean anything right now when you're just learning how to get all right enough at it, right? This is something to do in between you find an actual work to do that you want to do. The very first thing you need to know how to do is use your tool. If you don't know how to use your tool, then there is no potential for work until you do. You gotta know how to do that. You really do. And like when it's fall time, springtime, winter times, I don't know why, but summertime, like nature photography in the summer is boring to me. Like everything just look too green. It's like everything's just green. But like the reason I say to do nature photography when you really want to just get really good at using your gear is because you don't have to wait on somebody else to do it. Like you can just get up and go, and that's if you in the position to get up and go, right? You can walk. Do this for 30 days. Non-stop 30 days. If you miss a day, add a day. If you miss a week, add a week. But don't miss a week and have a week short of that. Do it for 30 days consistently. And by the end of the 30 days, you will learn a whole lot of stuff. One of the things that you will learn doing it for 30 straight days is that you will learn how lighting affects dimensionality. Like if you ever see trees with a bunch of leaves on them on a sunny day, they look different than trees with a bunch of leaves on them in a cloudy day. It just looked different. So if you ever saw dead trees on a cloudy day, they look different than dead trees on a foggy day. They look different than dead trees on a sunny day. Like they just look different. And so that help you understand how lighting affect dimensionality, and plus that gets you in motion with just knowing all your buttons, knowing what the settings do, knowing what all the numbers mean, just knowing how to master your lenses, knowing your camera's sensor, because you need to know what your own sensor is capable of. If you don't know what your own sensor is capable of, then that's like picking film and not knowing what that film look like, right? Like you need to know what your own camera's sensor is capable of. And so like doing it for 30 straight days and not picking which day is a good day for you, but then that's going to get you put in any given circumstance to know what how shutter speeds affect exposure, how aperture really affect depth of field, all of those kind of things, how ISO, like the limits of your camera's ISO before you get too much noise, how far you can lift shadows in editing, how far can you lower down highlights, things like that. Like you need to know all of those things. And so another thing you can do, especially during this time, if you just want to get out and use the camera you just paid for, or you probably had for years and just never really mastered it, is like, it's a lot of events going on around this time, like family events, friend events, things like that. Like, I don't know what they might be doing, bobbing for apples, you know, like mixing wine with apple cider and seeing which one tastes the best, or like, I don't know, having coffee drinking contests and see who crashed first. I really don't know. But that is gonna give you a good reason to A, get involved with people, grow an audience. B, they'll appreciate you for taking pictures that day, especially for free. C, you can get put in a real life situation that can show you exactly how to work your settings quickly on your camera. And those are things you're gonna need to, like, you're gonna need to know if you wanna do this for work. Like, you're just gonna need to know those things. And so right now is the perfect time of year to get started. I said in one of my other videos, if I took somebody who knew nothing about photography in 2 months, I could make them the best photographer, or at least a good one, or like a good one to hire, at least, because you still need to have an artistic mindset. Like, if you don't have that, this is over. Like, you know, I mean, you might as well take pictures of products for eBay. Like, you know, all you need is a white background and just kind of set it there, right? So, and another reason why I say to do it for 30 straight days is A, mostly due to lighting, right? So lighting is one of those things that really make all the difference in how your pictures turn out to look. If you don't know that, you're missing it. Like, you need to know lighting. Like, not knowing anything about lighting is why some people think that they spent so much money on a camera and on a lens and they're still not getting the results they want. You have to know that. That's what I slept on for a long time. Don't sleep on that. Like, the sooner you get a light, the better. Artificial light, you can get a speed light to go on top of your camera. Oh man, they're blasting that radio. But I can't really hear it through the headphones that good. So, like, that's great. And after all, I did pick a public park to come to. So, like, who could I really be mad at? Right? So, like, I know a lot of people say that pictures turn out better on cloudy days. That's not true. It all depends on how you take them. I know some people say, well, it's a nice sunny day. Why don't we take pictures? It looks beautiful outside. That's not true. It really all depends on how you take them. If you take them on a cloudy day, they could turn out flat and boring. If you take them on a sunny day, then you can have some spots way too dark and some spots way too bright, and you would never really be able to, like, get a right balance in how your picture is exposed. Like, I mean, like, people would have raccoon eyes. Man, people would have greasy foreheads, everything. People would have shiny faces, shiny heads, especially if you a bald head. Yeah, especially if you a bald head. But like I'm just saying, right? Like any given time of day can have its challenges. So you need to know those things. So get out, use your stuff, stop finding excuses for why you don't want to do it. And the reason why you like to find excuses is because you're full of crap. And if you wasn't full of crap, you wouldn't be giving me crap. That's the only reason you can give me crap, is because you're full of crap. Stop finding excuses for why you don't want to get started at really getting more hands-on with the craft. Oh, well, my baby. Make that baby get you somewhere. Like, don't just sit in the house and just be stuck because you got a baby and you got a camera. Look, if you got a baby and a camera, you are in a much better position than a lot of people. Like, you can be the next up-and-coming baby photographer and you got a kid model for free. Like, that's what I did. Like, I'm not about to sit in the house and wait on somebody else to have their turn to go to work and just wait on my off day before I say, all right, I'm going out, I'm going and go get me some pictures, I just want to study photography. No, I took them kids, we went to the park, and I took pictures of them. And I did it every day. Literally, I was not about to have a good reason for why I did nothing. Like, no, I'm not doing that. And some people just make too many excuses, and that's the reason they get nowhere, and then they say photography ain't for me. Well, it was for you when you thought about it. You know, it was for you before you realized how many better pictures than yours is out there. So it could still be for you right now. It's just that, like, you keep finding reasons to stay down. You know what I'm saying? Study your craft, get on YouTube, look at videos. You know what I'm saying? Look at some of the pictures you like and just imagine how you can do that. I'm sure it's possible to do that. That's what I did. Stop finding excuses, right? Look, like if you're a man, right, and you want to really study photography, be a photographer, you know, have a photography business and things like that, and you got a wife, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. All depend on how much money you spend on this. It's really gonna, you know, like that. Look, like if she's not necessarily that understanding of you getting into something new, because not everybody actually seen another person start something from the ground up and work for themselves. Not everybody's seen that before, right? So not everybody's gonna understand. You know, but like you gotta somehow in some way make somebody a believer enough, right? To the extent that they willing to help you advertise and things of that nature, right? I mean, like you might look around, like you done spent $2,000, $3,000 on a camera, not to mention you still ain't bought lenses yet. And a whole year go by and she's like, that camera hasn't made a single dollar. Look, like that can make you want to really give up. So learn what you're doing now. You also want to know some things about business, how to get yourself out there and do what you're doing, right? And if you're a woman, you got a husband like that, good luck. Because a guy like that, oh, that's hard to deal with, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. So just try and see what kind of support that you can get from the people around you and everything, and just kind of be generous and be understanding of the simple fact that, hey, like it might not be everybody's thing, you know, but for right now, like while it's your thing, like just do your thing and make the people around you a believer. Because when you get support from the people around you, it just make everything better. It's almost like you get some kind of favor from God when everybody's in on it. But like if you're the only person that believe in you, sometime that might have to be the way it is. And sometime that could be something that actually push you to go harder. You know what I'm saying? Not getting everybody's support can really push you to go hard for real. So like, either way, you can either be in a good position or a bad position, all depend on how you take it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like another thing that I do want to say is this, right? Stop letting other people be the reason for why you never do what it is you want to do. Oh, well, my wife, and like, you know, she's not all that. Dude, stop. Stop and take your wife out and go do something and bring your camera. Oh, well, my husband, and he doesn't look. And my mother, she won't keep the baby. Take the baby to the park. Like this, like just do that. Right? I mean, like at the end of the day, you becoming a better photographer is only gonna be more of a benefit for everybody else, right? But at the same time, like you still got to grow a business, like, you know what I'm saying? So you always need to know those kind of things as well, because that's not the like just knowing photography is not the only thing to this, right? It's just not the only thing to it. So at the end of the day, it's your craft, right? Like you got emotional every time you think about your photography. Like I remember at a point in time, I kind of thought like, one of these days, I'm gonna rule the world with my camera. It's like, I mean, okay, maybe I ain't say that to myself, but a lot of us think that way. Well, a lot of y'all think that way. Us. Like, you know, like a lot of people think like that. But truth be told, if you don't take yourself seriously, you will never really realize what it is you imagined behind doing this. And just getting out and consistently studying my craft has taken me from wishing my pictures were better to being one of the best photographers in the city that I live in. And I mean that. Like, I really do. You know, like I'm not sitting here boasting and bragging, because look, you can be that way. After all, I'm passing down the mindset that I had to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So maybe like you know, like being one of the best ain't that big a deal to me anymore now that I'm sitting here trying to tell you how to do it, right? And like I never really got into this to be the best. I got into this to do me. It just translated that way. So you also want to make sure you take the time, or like you also want to make sure you adopt the mindset of being humble. If you're not humble, then you'll be disconnected from reality, and all of your work is gonna look disconnected. So just make sure you stay humble. Don't think you better than somebody else because you got a good camera or a good lens or all of this other stuff, or even because you watch this video and you think you're about to go rule the world now. It just don't happen like that. Like, you need to make sure you stay connected to who you are and connected to what the rest of the world is too. Because that is how you're gonna be able to dig in enough to actually be able to make the best out of what it is you're doing. But other than that, y'all, it's time for me to go take my baby to get ice cream. See you later, and thank you for watching. Peace.